Hello, my friends. Today we're going to read a story called The Day You Begin. This is by Jacqueline Woodson, who's one of my favorite authors for children and young adults. I've read more of her, chapter books and stuff for a little bit older kids. So this is kind of more of an all ages story that works for everyone, from the youngest to the oldest. So I'm excited to share it with you. And the illustrations are by Rafael Lopez. This is our title page. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you. Maybe it will be your skin, your clothes, or the curl of your hair. There will be times when no one understands the way words curl from your mouth, the beautiful language of the country you left behind. My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. And because they don't understand, the classroom will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone. Rigoberto, from Venezuela, your teacher says so soft and beautifully that your name and homeland sounds like flowers blooming the first bright notes of a song. There will be times when the words don't come. Your own voice, once huge, now smaller. When the teacher asks, "What did you do last summer?" Tell the class your story. "We went to France," Kayla says. "These shells came from a beach in Maine." A boy named Jonathan holds out a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile they look like they'll turn to dust in your untraveled hands. "My whole family went to India, Spain, South Carolina." Each souvenir a small triumph of a journey. Their travels go on and on. And as you stand in front of that room, you can only remember how the heat waved as it lifted off the curb, and your days spent at home caring for your little sister, who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books you kept on reading long after she had fallen asleep. And in that room where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your own empty hands and wonder, what good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going somewhere? There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is too strange or too unfamiliar for others to love as you do. When even your own friend Nadia will wrinkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" And you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. There will be times when the climbing bars are too high. The run is too fast and far. The game isn't one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can watch. Maybe you can have a turn later. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. and all that sand beside you is your own brave self, steady as steel and ready, even though you don't yet know what you're ready for. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer with my little sister, you tell the class, your voice stronger than it was a minute ago. Reading books and telling stories, and even though we were right on our block, it was like we got to go everywhere. Your name is like my sister's, Rigoberto says. Her name is Angelina, too. And all at once, in the room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make some space for you. This is the day you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel, and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you, and something else so fabulously not quite like you at all. The end. So, I would like you to, if you want, think about different places in the story where the different kids felt out of place, felt like they didn't belong, felt different. And have you ever felt like that? Have you ever maybe witnessed somebody else feeling like that? Like, have you ever looked across the room and kind of saw that there was someone else who looked like they weren't comfortable and they weren't feeling like they were in a place that welcomed them? And how do these kids find a way to make space for themselves, to make the world open up to them, right? And it shouldn't be your responsibility to make the world make room for you. Ideally, there would already be room for you, and you would feel welcomed. But I think the point of this story is that you can raise your voice and tell your stories, and that may help you make connections with people that you thought you couldn't connect with. And it helps them make connections with you, even if they thought you had nothing in common, right? So when Angelina, she's like, oh, all these kids are talking about all these great trips they went on, and I didn't go on a great trip, and so I don't want to say anything. But then she decides to share what she did. And she shares kind of the magic of it, that even though we stayed on our block, it felt like we were going everywhere through the stories we read. That opens up a conversation where then Rigoberto says, oh, my sister's name is Angelina, so that's something we have in common. Rigoberto was feeling shy because he's from a different country, and people don't always understand him when he talks because he has a different accent and maybe is newer to speaking English. So now Angelina and Rigoberto have bonded over something. And now maybe Angelina has also opened the floor for other kids to talk to her about, oh, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite place that you went in a book? Or I like to take care of my sister too, and this is what we do together. So, those are some kind of unorganized thoughts that I have, and I encourage you to reread, aka go back and listen again, and just notice things. Notice moments of people feeling not comfortable, and then moments where they do, and think about your own experiences. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.